number you already use. So imagine kind of Google Voice without having to port your phone number. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, I failed to mention, I'm also the only entrepreneur that's been through the 9 Mile program twice. So if you have questions about that, I'm open.
Did you fail the first time or succeed so well that you had to come back with a new?
Burn. There's like a whole commerce crowd right here that's just going to get
I
offended.
know. That's
by
why
that.
you need. I think it's
terrible.
important for you to say that you succeeded,
Successfully.
which is very impressive.
Fair.
One more question.
Absolutely. We roped that functionality. Did everybody hear the question? Can you receive a call on multiple devices, right? Even if you have lots of phone numbers. We in the States roped that functionality into a family calling solution where you can teach a 5-year-old one phone number that'll ring all of the caretakers in the family until persistently until a trusted adult picks up the phone. Works great for elderly. That also solves a wonderful problem overseas where lots of people have burner phones. So they'll end up with 6 or 8 different phone numbers that they need to coordinate. Yeah, it's a big issue, absolutely. That was my last one. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Kyle. Our next presenter, ironically, maybe not ironically, another 9 Mile graduate. We like to have cool companies to show off to you, is Infomion.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Ritvik, the founder and CEO of Infomion. We are the first and only one-on-one customer retention platform for mobile apps. Now, we have all been annoyed and spammed by the push notices our mobile marketer friends send. But really, what's going on is they spend $2 to $3 acquiring every new user. But for every 100 users acquired, only 2 remain by the end of the month. So $980 out of 1,000 spent go down the drain. With Infomion, we are solving that problem to win back those inactive users, people who used to use the app but have stopped using it, to win them back and unlock new revenues. When we started Infomion, we met Tim, our first customer, and he had 2 full-time marketers who were sending products, trending products, to user segments. With Infomion, what we take those 7.6% of users and push it all the way up to 26%, a more than 3x increase in users reactivated. And as a result, Tim now entrusts 3 million of his mobile app users to Infomion's retention platform. Now, the way that we work is we sell to the mobile apps. Just by integrating with them, we are able to get access to each and every action, the buys, the sells, the likes and the comments, everything that a user is doing. And Infomion's advanced machine learning algorithms then analyze all of that and build a unique user profile for the users. And then using all of this information, what the marketer just tells us is the products they want to promote and the message variants to use. And from this, Infomion chooses a unique product recommendation for a single user, automatically picking a message that would appeal to them and then delivering it at a time and weekly frequency that would appeal and work for that single individual. And this is true personalization that goes beyond username. When we started Infomion, Tim had his doubts, so he started us with 100 user experiments. Over time, by consistently delivering amazing results, we earned his trust and now reach 100,000 unique users each week for him. In just 2 days of deploying Informion, Joog, our second customer, experienced a 2.5x increase in the number of users reactivated. 2 days, 2.5x increase. Those lead to exciting times in a startup. All of this has been possible by constantly maintaining a 22 to 27% retention rate or winbacks as compared to 4 to 7% from our competitors. And it is these kind of results that have led 3 more clients and customers joining our happy family at Informion. When compared to other platforms, what we are able to do with Informion is pick a unique product recommendation for each user. Our competitors restrict the marketer to guessing what a user wants. Informion goes ahead and matches a message to a single unique user. The competitors would restrict them to a segment. And finally, what we are doing here is that we have been able, with the assistance of the amazing team at 9 Mile Labs, been able to bring this product to the market, and the amazing team that we have got with a bunch of marketers, bunch of data scientists, a bunch of engineers who came in together. So any time that you want to know a little bit about leaving Microsoft, joining and running a startup, being scared at times, or anything else that this journey has been, come and talk to me to know more. Thank you.
Questions? Are we up here?
So there are multiple aspects to it. First is make it about the user. So any time that we go ahead and send a message, it has to be about what that user is going to like. 2, go ahead and make it about that when we reach them, it is about a time and frequency that would work for them. For example, with using our platform, the maximum times that you can reach and send a push notice is 2 in a week. Most of our customers send one message, a single shot within a week to get back the user. So you have to make that shot count. It can no longer be spam. So, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yes. So that's a very, very good question. So in order to avoid the creepiness and this percolation of data, what happens is everything that we know about a customer is limited to within that app. So we don't share your profile across the apps. Given that it is within the app, that information is just within that app better. Yep. So that's a very, very, very good question, because there is this constant thing. By abusing the channel for the past 2.5 years, what has happened is everyone pretty much disables push notices. Now, one thing that we have seen in the past, like 1.5, 2 months that we have been running the program with the existing guys, we have been able to keep the push acceptance rate at a flat line, just because you're making it and training the users that it is about the users. So that's one thing that is happening. Two is that push still gives you the highest retention as well as the action rate, as opposed to email, which is somewhere around 2%. So 30% of the users coming back is only possible through push if we really make it about the user, and that's what the aim is. One message in a week is good. 5 is not.
Okay, one more question.
Yep. So segmentation is the evil we are looking to kill. Because the moment you bring in segmentation, you have been grouped together with other people. It truly is about that individual, what you've been doing, what you've been liking, what you've been sharing. We're trying to gather what you'd be interested in, what your intent would be. And using that, we're trying to help you out. You were searching for something. Could we use the machines to find something that you might like? Let's try sending that. Let's not be pushy. Let's try and be that helpful salesman. Only on smartphones, that's where we are starting at this point in time. Yep. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Informion. So we like to keep the energy up, and in the middle it gets a little low. So would anybody like a candy cane? It doesn't sound. Is this helpful? Is it bringing the energy? Do we need to do jumping jacks, get you out of your seats? So if anybody would like to walk down here, there's
He's
about 10.
recreating the Bertha hole and how they're
I'm-
getting the line down.
Can you see that I
There we
wasn't
go.
big on sports as a child? Yeah, they're going in the middle. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
His dad must have had
We
a
have
beard
insurance.
too. Brett, thank you for that experience. Someone might actually want the Ziploc. Does anyone want a Ziploc? Okay. So one of the things that we find to be important is with every event, we also have a segment of partners that fall into this category of the people that really make this city run. Microsoft, Amazon, a lot of the success of the startup community came from the talent and the resources that trickled down from Amazon's and the Microsofts of this world. So we're very honored and lucky to have them as part of this group. And we'd like to invite Amazon down to say a few words about why they partnered today. If they're here, if they're not in the room. There we
And
go.
by the way, at the end of the night, they're giving away something, a few things, much, much, much better than candy canes, so they can tell you about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon.
Hey guys, we're from Amazon. We used to be a startup, and we're very, very supportive of startups. We are actually here from the search experience, or I guess search and discovery team. If you have ever used the search box on Amazon. Success. So just to help with the energy, we actually brought a few T-shirts. We heard people like clothing. So we don't have the drones here today to help you deliver them. But we do have a really, really cool engineers to help. So I'm going to let them step forward.
So T-shirts always land low. So can we get a few engineers up in the stairs to throw some of the shirts a little bit higher?
Wait,
But-
don't throw anything. Wait, stop throwing. Say what you bought someone for Christmas using Amazon. Come on. If you don't say anything, I don't think they deserve a shirt. Beautiful. Come on, keep going. What are those search terms?
We actually do a lot of stuff around the query understanding platform, results, a little bit on ads. I think we're missing some. I have another candy cane. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Can anybody guess actually how many T-shirts we have on Amazon? We do have a couple more over here. But we are looking for engineers, managers, TPMs, data scientists, research scientists. We actually have pretty much all roles within search and discovery given the amount we do. Another t-shirt, please just let us know. At the end of the show, I think we are raffling off Kindles. So if you guys are interested, if you have not entered the raffle yet, there is still time. We are sitting over here. Yeah, run. But we will be here and we'll have Kindles. Thanks.
So the Amazonians are over on the corner. If you have not registered for the Kindle giveaway and you would like to do that, and thank you all for being here tonight. So they'll be back at the end of the night to give away a couple Kindles.
Next time you're on Amazon running a search, just picture these faces. They hold your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa in the palm of their keyboard hands. Okay, so
One more thing that makes the event run.
yes, of course. The most important thing that makes the event run, and I think, are the volunteers in the room that help check us in. If they are, quickly stand up. Stand up. Let's get those faces. Come down here quickly. Come on. This could be you. And you got checked in. So we feel it's appropriate for them to tell quickly to you why it is they're here in the community and what they want to say, whatever it is they want to do.
Thanks. I'm Dave Myron. I work for a ad tech startup in Seattle called Vehicle. I love the Seattle tech scene. Thanks, Michael. I had to see who that was first. I'm actually looking for senior DevOps folks or kind of techno generalists. If you are interested in working for a team that's small and where your every little contribution will actually make a difference day to day, please come and see me afterwards. I'll be outside up by the bar.
So we also had someone from ThinkSpace, which is a co-working space in Fremont and Redmond, and she had to leave, but we thank her for her help. And a gentleman who was too humble to come down tonight, who's up here, James, correct? So James is actually hello to James and thank him for his service. So thank you, James. And our next presenter is Transitional Software. You ready, Don? You ready?
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's get a little more energy going. We're all here together. It's not like you, the stage, and the people out there. So can you guys count 3, 2, 1? Okay, so let's all help Don get started with a little energy here. 3, 2, 1, Don.
Thank you very much. The basic concept behind translational software is that there's an enormous amount of new technology coming into healthcare to handle genetics. But it's never going to come to fruition unless there is the technology to make it accessible and usable to doctors. Scheduled surgery because of a family history of cancer. She found out at the last moment that she didn't have the bad mutations. And that gave me the idea that this is a really important need for information. And just as the computing industry was this opportunity for us. What that means is that the amount of knowledge about medicine is growing, and it's accelerating at an accelerating rate. But that never will really reach its potential because at their limit, their cognitive limit in terms of what they can, the facts that they can use to apply to decisions. So the challenge is to say, how do we help? What information system is going to help us to help the doctor to make a decision? Now, we decided among all the places we could concentrate, we decided on pharmacogenetics, which is the relationship between drugs and genes, for a couple of reasons. One is that there are a very small number of genes that affect a very large number of drugs. So a small company can actually make an impact there. The other is that the area is pretty well studied. The FDA for years has been looking at these relationships. So what we built is a cloud-based system that sits between the lab and the WILE for the doctor. What we noticed is that right now, the normal reports are focused by molecular biologists for molecular biologists. So they expect the doctor not only to understand the biology or the genetics, but then expect them to figure out how that applies to their customer, to their patient. What we did was said, let's start with the evidence and work back from there to the genetics. So we can tell the doctor, for this patient with this genotype and this medication list, this is the best available evidence about how you should dose that drug or any other drug that's covered by the genes in the test. What we learned was, one, when you're working with biological data, it's really messy. Secondly, developers and PhDs can work and play nicely together. And third, if it's not reimbursed, doesn't matter how cool it is. The other thing we learned is that doctors are incredibly busy. So they have to see 30 to 40 people per day, if you can imagine what that's like. So what we have to do is really refine and really test and really focus on these reports and make sure that they are absolutely as concise as they possibly can be, that the wording is accurate. So what we did right. First of all, we started when people told us we were crazy, and we might have been a bit. That was 2009. Our first customer was last year. We also partnered with the people that are building this equipment because they know that with our software, their hardware is a lot more compelling, and that has made a huge difference. Virtually all of our customers come from referrals. Where are we now? 12 people, solid revenue growth, and profitable for this year. But we're not out of the woods because of Medicare. Medicare is looking carefully at what we do. Where are we going? Today, you test a single gene for a single drug. What we're enabling you to do is test 15 genes, which is not much more expensive, and know from that 150 drugs what's important. Where we want to go is to put this data in your medical record, so every time you make a decision in the future about a medication, you can come to our database and know what the implications are. So let me tell you one story to finish. 2 weeks ago, I found out about a transplant team in New Jersey. They were losing a patient. And the patient had a rare tissue type, so there weren't a lot of options. They, in desperation, went for a genetic test. They used our report. They identified the source of the toxicity for that patient, modified the medication regimen, and that patient not only survived, but thrived. So that's what keeps us going, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share it with you. Questions? Yes, sir. The biggest competitor right now is labs that want to do it for themselves. They say, we want to have a differentiated solution to this. And I think it's just like when I was in IT back in the 1990s, you said, well, I have to have my general ledger system or my CRM system. There'll be a tipping point in the future when they say, well, we can't be competitive if we do it themselves. We're not quite there yet, but pretty soon. Consumer is tricky, and 23andMe, you probably know, has been shut down by the FDA. We very intentionally sell to the doctor, or our customer is the lab, and they sell to the doctor. And the reason for that is there are an awful lot of considerations that we can't incorporate into the reports. There are a lot of things about renal insufficiency. There are lots of things that just can't be incorporated. And I'd much rather have a doctor work with our report to bring it to the customer, to the patient. Yes, sir. We do have some customers that will bring the reports to consumers. And they will offer the support that's necessary for a patient, But for every patient that is well-informed and pragmatic about using the information, there are some that are less pragmatic.
One more question.
Yes, sir. We actually get off the machine, and it's usually PCR, not sequencing, if you're familiar with the technology. We don't need a billion genes. It's about 15. They're about 180 or 90. The cool thing is that right now, there isn't really a lot of actionable data. So we get genotypes. So it's just what variant you inherited from your parents at that locus. No, not actually the protein. We know based on the genotype, we'll convert that to haplotypes, and based on the haplotypes, we know the predicted clinical phenotype, and based on the clinical phenotype for a particular gene, we know how you should modify the dosing of the drug.
Not to cut the question short, but I would love to hear this over tacos and beer. I got to tell you, that would be awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, translational software.
Our next presenter, Pixotail. He actually created a little contest mixed in, so why don't you explain that to them before we get started?
Actually, it's not a contest. It's a gift. So we are creating Pixotail, which is a storytelling app. It's an app for your iPhone. So if anybody here try to install the app and write a story about this event tonight, not necessarily right now, tonight, and tweet with the hashtag of the Seattle New Tech Seattle, and we are going to give away like 10 Starbucks cards. We are a tiny startup with bootstrapping startup, so we only have like $10 Starbucks a card, not a huge one, right?
It's the thought that counts when it comes to gifts.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you ready?
Before I start, I actually want to show a welcome to the guest from China. Actually, not only I'm from China, actually Wuxi is my second hometown. I spent my high school there in Wuxi #1 Middle School. So thanks for coming here. It's Wuxi meet Seattle tonight. Thank you. Ready?
Okay. 2, 1.
Last year, we built an amazing iPhone photo application to shooting levitation photos. It's so new and so amazing that nobody knows what it is. So we decided to send 100 invitation code to more than 50 like bloggers, photographers, and hope them to use it. So unfortunately, nobody responds. It's a levitation photo. How many of you know what levitation photo is? Raise your hand. Wow, it's still so amazing that nobody knows what it is. Here is a photo for levitation photos. Hold on. This is it. So this used to be that best kept secret for professional photographers. However, with our apps, anybody can create amazing levitation photos just directly from the iPhone. Even the kids can do that. Our only problem is nobody know our story. Nobody know we can do that. So we take our daughters to Marymore Park. We shoot a bunch of levitation photos, and then we write these photos into beautiful visual stories, and we share those stories across the internet as much as we could. And hopefully, somebody can discover that we have these amazing apps. Wake up in the morning, check the store status, nothing happened. I go for running. Suddenly, my co-founder calling me, say, "Hey, Robert, Levitagram is actually number 90 in the App Store." I stopped and checked App Store. Nothing there. I guess my co-founder is just having his daydream. But it ended up, actually, my co-founder is not having the daydream, because when I check, it's no longer 90 in the App Store, it's number 9 in the App Store. That day, we watched our apps go to the top to the App Store, and actually, eventually, Levitagram become number 1 in 25 countries and reached the top 10 in more than 80 countries. Thank you. Levitygram stayed in the US App Store for more than 1 year, and what we did right, we think what we did right is actually storytelling. And then we decided we need to turn this storytelling into something that everybody can use, like you can take the levitation photos. So that's Pixeltail. So with Pixeltail, anybody can quickly turn photos and videos and text and location into beautiful visual stories, all from the mobile phone. Once you have the story can be shared in social networks. And it works on all different screen size, all different devices. Actually, our philosophy is let you only focus on the story itself and let our technology and algorithm to figure out the device and the screen size for you. All keep on the storytelling itself. It's always very interesting to look at how our users are using our apps to solve the real problem. Like Scott Frather, he's a book writer. He used Pixeltail to telling stories to engage his readers. He said he can only publish 1 or 2 books a year, but he now can share the stories every day with his potential readers. And Brian from Canada, he's run a decoration firms. He used Pixeltail to write this client report on the progress of the home decoration. It works pretty well, and the more amazing, all of those client reports eventually turn into the best marketing material for him to attract new customers. Stephanie is a lady in Europe. She's running a cafe, and she used Pixeltail to write a bunch of recipes for her amazing food. So she told me nothing works better than just snapping a few pictures and then you quickly turn them into a recipe for the food blog. What we really feel touching is something that we found. We found a small group of users in our Pixeltail. Unfortunately, I can't feature them for reason. They're so engaging. They're telling a lot of very nice stories about their life, about their family, and they're a small group of people. They're so dedicated to each other. So I try to reach to one of them and ask, and I get a shocking answer. So they belong to a cancer supporting group. So they don't know how long they can still live, but they decided to live strong. They decided to share the life stories with their friends, with their family. One of the lady told me, I don't think I can share those stories in Facebook or Twitters. I think it's so important for her to collecting all those stories to let her daughter to remember her in the future. She just wants to create this life moment to be able to connecting her daughter in the future. So nothing rewards better than your customer tell you this is something that's so important for their life. So that's exactly what we feel. Storytelling is a foundation of the human communication. And we are building something to make the human and the people connecting to each other better. So that's Pixeltail, connecting people through visual storytelling. Thanks. That's my story.
Two questions.
What's the business model? That's interesting. Yeah. So since, as you can see, a lot of people, they use the storytelling not just for sharing the stories about their life, but they use that to help the business. Like they mentioned, like Brian and Scott, they really need the information, not only for sharing the story, they also need the information how to improve the engagement. So ideally, we're going to provide them premium features for them to write a better story to engage their customers. So that's potential some business model. Okay, the question is how to share the stories. So Pixeltail is more content creation tool than a sharing tool. And actually, we don't want to recreate a social network. So when people, they create a story in Pixeltail, they're going to get a link, and then they can share the story as a whole to the social network. So basically, they can create a story from mobile phone, but the story is visible anywhere. You can share on Twitter, Facebook. It's going to turn into a cover page and long-form stories.
One more question, and from that group on the bottom left, if you want to give Hometown a little love.
I really wish. I wish someday. But right now, we're still a very tiny startup. We're going to stay focused here. One of the big issues, as a storytelling app, is there's some political risk in China to run right now. Sorry about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pixotail.
Thank you.
Everybody stand up for a second. It's about 8:14, 8:15. Let's get a little blood flowing before, again, we're going to fill our blood veins with some tacos. I don't know what is it with me and tacos. Okay. Here's the deal. We're about to have one more presentation for the final event of our year, so I want to hear a little noise. Come on, make some noise. I don't care what the noise is. Yeah! All right. It took a lot of time for us to get here. It's been an amazing second year for the New Tech Seattle crew. And without further ado, we invite up Zulily to provide us with the final presentation of the evening. Let's hear it for Zulily, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody. My name's Jason. I run the mobile development teams for Zulily. I'm going to cover a lot of information really quick, so bear with me. Got questions at the end. I'm going to cover a couple of things tonight. First, who Zulily is as a company for anyone who's not familiar with us. They're going to dive into some specifics about our technology organization within that and some principles in which we operate, and then spend some time talking about our app development within that. Zulily is an online retailer obsessed with bringing moms, that's really important, special finds every single day, all at incredible prices. And we've had some success. We've been fortunate with over $1 billion in annual revenue, and we have not hit our 5-year birthday yet. So we've definitely had some success. We're fortunate there. Now, the way we've done this, there's no necessarily secret sauce to this, but there are some key ingredients. And one of the main ones is getting the entire company to buy into one idea, which is who we are at our core. We are a discovery-based shopping model. You come to Zulily because you don't know what you're looking for today. You don't come to us looking for something specific. You come to us to window shop. You come to us because hopefully we have a lot of great ideas and great things that you want to check out, but not necessarily one specific thing. At its core, it is all about flash sales. I'm sorry, the joke just had to be made. We have 100 new events. An event is a collection of products that go live every day. Events will last for 72 hours. That's thousands of products that go live at 6 a.m. every single day with discounts at up to 70% off. In Q1 of 2012, 31% of our revenue came from mobile platforms. In Q3 of 2014, I'm incredibly proud to say that 51%, over half of our revenue, came from mobile platforms. We're actually leading in e-commerce with the amount of mobile engagement that we have. It's clear that moms are shopping with us on the go more and more every single day. Our technology org within Zulily operates under some key principles, and there's two that I want to highlight to you today. The first is the concept of fearless innovation. Our leadership and management teams within Zulily obsess about creating a culture where engineers do not fear pushing code. There should never be a barrier between great ideation and execution to millions of customers, and we believe that at our core, and we operate underneath that. This is our pig. Our pig is an example of this. Our pig is awarded. It's a trophy that's awarded to an engineer when something catastrophic happens. You tank the website or you blow up the mobile apps because you pushed a great idea. We celebrate this with a standing ovation from the team. It's displayed proudly at your desk. And we do this because it embraces that we celebrate our failures as much as we celebrate our successes. And the second thing is that we move incredibly fast. Again, the barrier from ideation to execution should be minimal. And that includes the time it takes to actually get a great idea to customers. We've had that actually happen in a matter of hours. Native apps within this, that's a little bit interesting, and it's a little bit problematic because native app development is a little bit slower by nature. We believe in native app development. We believe in the responsive, better-feeling nature of it, but development is slow because you have to wait for your app to be approved. So there's some key things I want to talk to you tonight about that allow us to go faster in the native mobile app development world. The first question here is the concept of, does app update fatigue actually truly exist? 2 or 3 years ago, the answer to this question was a resounding yes. There's no question about it. You can update your app so much that you annoy your customer. Today, though, with mobile operating systems automatically opting users in to app updates, most users are blind to when this is actually happening, so we contend that this is no longer an issue. In fact, we actually have a build of our app ready to go to the App Store every single Friday. We move faster than Apple can actually approve our apps. The next thing is that we treat our apps like a set of building blocks. We want to push really fast and move really fast, but we don't want to wait for Apple and their approval process. And so we treat our app like a set of building blocks where when it is foregrounded, it downloads a set of instructions on how to assemble itself. How do I present my app in a unique way to the millions of different customers? And it is unique for every single person with our relevancy engines. And so we can maintain fast pushing code, pushing ideas really quickly by pushing these instruction sets to the server, but allow the app to remain responsive and feel really good because it's getting everything that it needs ahead of time. We have this other unique problem because at 6 a.m. we have thousands of new products every day. We have tons and tons of app users that hit us every single day at 6 a.m., meaning as each app is downloading its set of instructions on what to do, it's a tremendous hit to our servers. So we have and are continuing to make investments in background fetch and silent push notifications to take that server hit at 6 a.m. and offload it between 5 and 6 a.m. to actually get the apps everything that they need ahead of time, also solving not only the server hits, but the concept of customers no longer have to wait for spinning loading icons. That was a lot of information in a very short amount of time. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Again, I'm Jason. Thank you. I'll throw out one little other anecdote, which is I'm fairly new to Seattle as well. This is my first gig. I moved up from LA. I have a really random backstory. Hit me up about that later. But questions? Up in the back, waving your hand. Hi. How do we start there? I think the reason is that mom is a great consumer, and mom is never finished. I think we would tell you today, while we started at Moms Today, it's moms in every stage of her life, before she has kids, while kids are in the house, and after they've left, right? So it's really about catering to women. But specifically, we started with moms because really there was a great business there. There's an opportunity that never ends. I mean, part of our genetic makeup is to reproduce our species along, and so moms will continue to be here no matter what we do to screw it up in the process. Good question. Thank you very much. What else? Yeah, right here. Yeah. That's probably, I love this question. The question was, how do we maintain moving really fast without like damaging our brand, right? And like pushing code that may be really, really buggy to customers. I think that we have a little bit of grace here because we have this huge, repeatable base of customers that comes back to us every day wondering what we have. We are respectful. We don't ever try and push bad code. Don't get me wrong. We have great engineers that care about what they do. But we also have sort of maintained this vibe that when you come to Zulily, we hope it is fresh and different, whether it's the app or the website. And so things are changing kind of in presentation underneath you all along. And I think we've kind of established that with our customer. And so if things feel a little like they're shifting around underneath you, that's sort of an expectation we have with our customer at this point. It's a good question. Yeah, right here. Yeah, there's just a database of new mothers out there, and you can tap into it. No, it's a good.
You guys
question.
hang out at hospitals?
Yeah, we pass out pamphlets. We actually come into the delivery room. No, it's a good question. There's no simple answer. Unfortunately, there's a ton of different acquisition channels that we have. Whether that's buying ads and displaying it on other, not competitors, but other we call it competitors for mom's time, Pinterest, Facebook, other things where our demographic exists. We'll buy ads there, search engine optimization and getting into ads there, as well as, TV ads we're starting to look at now. So, a lot of different advertising, lots and lots and lots of different channels. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are.
Okay, one more question.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, up here. There's a lot. So Zulily at its core is a build house. We definitely like to build lots and lots of things that cater specifically to us. So there's a lot of proprietary stuff that we have built to maintain it. But I think if I can draw back to this, it's really about the culture that we've kind of created. I think we have maintained an environment where the tech org never holds back the growth, right? So we found this great demographic and this great business model, and really what we did is we created a technology environment that supports that and never, ever holds that back. So we err on the side of, push great ideas as fast as you can, even if that means it's something that hasn't been tried. And that's not just for the front end, that's also for the back end as well. I think that's all the time we have for questions. One more question.
One more.
How about here in the hat? I love this. I'm such a data person at my core, so I absolutely love this. So we A/B test a lot of things, multivariate tests all throughout our site. Some of them are unique and they're specific around like core funnel and purchases that we want to make sure are not confounding data in any way, so we isolate those. Others are you may be in 15 different tests at the same time because we're just trying out different pieces on different things, but it's and build some tools around that. And a lot of stuff that we have is always being tested. So it's really, really good. Thank you guys so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Zulily, ladies and gentlemen, we're clapping for everybody and all the presenters. Let's hear it again for all the presenters.
Thank you for helping us celebrate the awesomeness going on in Seattle. Who would like to win something? Not that you're not all winners, because you are.
The secret to winning is to order something from Amazon and getting a Prime discount. I don't know. What are you guys giving away today? What's the awesomeness that we're about to? Oh my God! How do I win? How does this?
Dude, you're ineligible.
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't play. All right, here. Why don't you go ahead and hit the prize?
All right, did anybody not have a chance to enter the raffle really quickly? We honestly have no idea if you put in 5 tickets for your own name. So
Can we want to keep this clean. So, gentleman right here, totally just picked him out of nowhere. Could you come and
all right, if anybody
the
wants
winner?
to come and you have
if
5
it's you,
seconds to write down
then
your name.
you still. I know. So you pick. So it's totally clean.
Tessa? Oh, sorry, just mix it up a little bit now. Tessa, come on down.
Tessa, come on down. You've won a brand new Amazon Kindle.
You win a Kindle Paperwhite. Can we get another volunteer that wants to run down?
It's one less gift you have to buy for a family member this Christmas.
You can re-gift it too. All right, anybody else? We have, all right, can I have you maybe come up and select? You can go to the bottom or the top, it doesn't matter. It's okay, we'll figure it out. All right, I will have someone else read it. All right, I guess I get Adam Schuster? No. You too win a Kindle Paperwhite. I think that's all I have, actually, right? All right.
Wait, you
All
got
right, well-
T-shirts. You're wearing T-shirts.
Oh yeah, we could actually strip, and you guys can have our T-shirts. But yeah, no.
Ladies and
actually,
gentlemen.
for money. Hold on, what do you guys have? Yeah, but if you guys do want to talk to us, we are from Amazon. We're kind of up at the top corner by the bar. So swing by. Thanks, guys.
So I just want to bring this gentleman up real quick again. because I love the fact that you didn't just bother to put your name on the tag that says you're looking for a job. He put "got job?" on here. So come up here for 1 second and just tell them what kind of job are you looking for?
I'm a developer. My background is in .NET. I'm doing that for over a decade. I have learned some JavaScript. I would like to diversify, maybe get into something different if possible.
If you can help him, whether you want to hire him or you know somebody that can help him out, please connect with this gentleman and let's build some more community. Thank you for helping us out.
So here's the deal, guys. We do this every single month, all right? We've got some good news. Jaboos, this night is the last night before they redo their space. So if you are those that go to the after party regularly, this is the last time you're going to experience Jaboos the way it is tonight. So to tell you where to go, it's very simple. Put it into your phone and type in Jaboos Pub. It is 1 block that way. And raise your hand if you've been to Jaboos and you're planning on going there. Good. Stick to those hands.
It
and
is
when you leave-
J-A-B-U-S. J-A-B-U-S. It's really simple. If you haven't been there, the thing is $1 amazing tacos.
Yeah,
That's
$20
really why everybody goes.
buys you 20 tacos. So think about it that way. Next month, we're going to be on the 20th. We've also got the New Tech East Side as well. So wherever you are in Seattle or the greater Seattle area, we're here to help. See you all next year. Happy New Year's.
Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the community. We greatly appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
Have a great night.